Hello guys and welcome to my review, and today I'm going to be reviewing the 3 versions of Doom 64, the 3 best versions of Doom 64. Well, lately there's a 4th that came out with Doom Eternal, but I need to pay for it and I'm not gonna spend money on Doom 64. You know, the one that I can get for free on Doom 64 EX. You know. So regardless, let's start. So, first thing first that you need to know is that Doom 64 is lore filled, and sometimes you cannot, and this part allows you to skip some of the cutscenes. But regardless, this is Doom 64 EX. So fun fact about Doom 64, right? There's a few cards, let's say. This is what the shotgun do. The shotgun animation is a bit limited. The reason for that, I'll explain in a bit. But for now, I'm just going to show you guys the weaponry that you can get your hands on during the course of Doom 64 EX. So Doom 64 EX is the most classical version you'll ever get your hands on. But, however, Doom 64 has its many drawbacks. One of the drawbacks that I sincerely hate is the reloading animation on the shotgun. It looks ugly and it looks very, very cheaply made. There's a reason for that, but I don't think the reason is permittable. So now, the reason for all of the cuts in the animation is that I'm just gonna give all, okay, to show you guys all of the weaponry. Okay, so the reason why they make a few cuts here and there is that Doom 64 is printed on a cartridge. Is that how you say it? Cartridge? Whatever. It's printed on a cartridge and it's hard to keep files. Hold on. And if you ever know how big the storage on the cartridge is, it's not very big. So they need to make some shortcuts. Example of a shortcut is this very realistic reload animations, and other shortcuts were made. So Doom 64 EX is the worst way to play. I mean, yeah, it's the most classical way, but it isn't a way that I like, especially because of the controls. It seems a bit the controls seems and feels jiggedy. Not really jiggedy, it feels slow and sluggish and not fun. So, Doom 64 EX was the port for Doom 64 on PC. Is it any good? Well, God. Is it any good? Well, I would like to say that Doom 64 EX is as good as Doom 64. But here's the thing, Doom 64 is not... Doom 64, at least the original Doom 64, is not fun, in my opinion. I don't really like it. I don't really like the original Doom 64. It seems cheap and barely and not done. It seems unfinished. It feels unfinished. It feels weird. So Doom 64, as in the old Doom 64, the original Doom 64 on the Nintendo, not only sucks because of tech limitations and everything, it also sucks because of the controller of the N64. I don't own an N64, but I do know how the N64 controller looks like. This is a picture of a controller of an N64. How the hell are you going to use that joystick? How are you going to use that goddamn joystick? It's so hard to use, which goes away from the point of having, you know, a joystick in the first place. A joystick is supposed to be easy to control. It's easy to play when you're playing like Mario 64 or maybe GoldenEye. But hold on, GoldenEye it's okay, but with Doom, the Doom movement is not meant for such weak engine. And also I have no idea how to turn on the sound. It's just silent. I've went through the settings and everything. It works on other ports, but this one it doesn't work. I'm not sure other people can do it. I'm not sure it's just me being dumb or if this version of the port is broken. But regardless, I would say that I don't really like Doom 64 EX because Doom 64 EX so far seems just blatantly and plainly original and changes nothing that much. For sure, some people doesn't like changes, but changes need to be made for improvement to be made. But I'm not here to ramble, and I'm only judge after I'll see the other mods. So, without further ado, let's jump in to Doom 64 Retribution. Doom 64 Retribution. Let's see what's up. No, I don't want to. No story, please. No story, please. So let's see how good this game is. Okay. So first thing first, I'm going to give myself all the guns because I want to showcase them. So, the first thing that you may notice is this. Yes, that's a better reload animation, but no, it doesn't change the way the game plays because the amount of time it takes to reload this gun is the same as the amount of time it takes to reload the shotgun originally. So even though it has a different animation, it's technically still the same. So, something that I would like to address, especially now, is that the chainsaw looks good. Regardless of that, so this is the key thing that they changed, right? They changed the double barrel shotgun reloading. Again, same amount of time that it takes to reload, but different animation, so it doesn't destroy the balance. So the guns feel more punchier, even though the audio is the same. The gun feels more oomph-ish because of the hold on. The guns feel more punchier because of the animations. So they feel punchier because of the animations. It's not small. It doesn't feel cheap. That's how I should put it. It feels very oomph and big. I gotta admit, I wasn't really a big fan of Doom 64. I didn't really like the creative decisions on it. But Doom 64 Retribution changes that, because in Doom 64 EX, right, all of them looks like plastic. But in Doom 64 in Doom 64 Retribution, this is beautiful. Look at that. The atmosphere and all that. It looks nice. It makes it almost as if it's worth it to go through all of these sprites. Because in the original Doom 64, the sprites looks like plastic, and because of design constraints, the animation sucks, and again because of space constraint, the gun sucks, especially the BFG. The BFG in this game is weak. If you play Doom 64 before, you might know. I'm just going to play the first level as to not spoil anything to you guys. So now, without further ado, on to the best on to the best. I don't know. I'm very excited for this one because I played Brutal Doom before. This one is called Brutal Doom 64. I'm not sure if it's made by the same person who made Brutal Doom, as in Sergeant Mark. But let's see, shall we? Welcome to Brutal Doom 64. And I was right. It was Sergeant Mark. So yeah, it's made by the same person who made wait, classical or tactical? Classical. Skip intro. So the thing about this is that it's beautiful. Look at the lighting. Look at the lighting. That's beautiful. You can jump. So just like in hold on. Just like in Doom 64, the visuals are beautiful. However, I would like to point out one thing that made my day when I saw it. And that thing was the sound design. The sound design was perfect. When I say was, it was and still is. This is running with Zandrum. Yes, it's using Zandrum. The not so good, at least not so good anymore, bot. But this is beautiful. Look at the blood. This requires Doom 2 though. If you want to play this, you need Doom 2. Yeah, it's a minor setback for sure, but still, look at the lighting. It's beautiful. Look at this. This is dynamic. And I'm pretty sure I can turn up the blood. Yeah, catch up. Blood amount. There you go. Lots. Comical. Overdrawn. Overdrawn. That wasn't overdrawn. Let's see. It's okay, I guess. Was it not? This is available for Zandrum. I don't know, I'm not sure. When I download it, it's defaulted to Zandrum, but whatever. Point being that I'm trying to make listen to the music. They revamped the music so that it's even scarier. And if you don't know Doom, especially Doom 64, Doom 64 was made so that it was scarier than the other Doom counterparts. The music, the atmosphere, the enemy placement was made so that it's a bit of a horror game and it's a combination between shoot them and horror game. Shoot them up. And yeah, if you grab the Soul Sphere, it says Soul Sphere, which is a good addition. So now, let's see if I can enjoy the other guns as much. I like that. This is the machine gun. Beautiful. The rocket launcher is beautiful. The sound design of everything is beautiful. It's not as good as Doom. Okay. You'll see what I mean about the BFG being weak here. You see, if that's the BFG in Doom, it will nuke the entire room. Everything would have been dead. But now there's a few survivors. Even in Brutal Doom 64, it's not as good. Is that a scream? Yup. And also you have this extra weapon, which is a laser. and it does that. Thoroughly eviscerates, and you can kick. I forgot to tell you about that. So if you jump and kick, you do that. There's stamina. Kicking requires stamina. If you jump and kick, it does that. If you just kick, it does that. You have a deadly demon laser thing. Everything in this game is so far impressive. And yeah, you can fire the shotguns singular barrel. Now, let's go through my points, shall we? Now, let's go through my points. First thing first, I would like to say that I hate Doom 64 EX. There you go. It's out there. There you go. Doom 64 EX, I don't like it. I hate it. Well, it's not really hate. I will play it, but it isn't fun. It's not the best spot compared to the other two. Brutal Doom 64 is not very classic-y, but we'll get to that later. Doom 64 EX, I know that's what speedrunners use when they speedrun. I know what those people that like to brag about how good they are at games and play on hard difficulty use. Instead of Doom 64 Retribution, they use Doom 64 EX. But to me personally, I do not like Doom 64 EX. It's sluggish. They don't change much things. Everything looks like plastic. The gun animations are weak and very static, to say the least, the gun animations. So yeah, I would say that Doom 64 EX is not good. It's not my cup of tea, to say the least. Now, with that out of the way, I would like to address something else. Doom 64 Retribution. Let's talk about that, huh? So, Doom 64 Retribution is like, how should I put this? It's like Blood Fresh Supply to Doom 64. Blood Fresh Supplies changes a few things, but without changing the gameplay itself. Yeah, that's what it does. It has a shotgun reload animation now. It has a double barrel super shotgun reload animation now. The sound effects are better, the lighting are better, the graphics are better. Unlike Doom 64 EX, Doom 64 Retribution make sure that the enemies and the surrounding and everything doesn't look like plastic, which is something that I really like. Personally, if you're looking for a classic experience, this is the best way to experience Doom 64 in a classic way. This is great. I love Doom 64 Retribution. I am going to go play this for hours off camera. Okay, so now let's talk about Brutal Doom 64, shall we? So Brutal Doom 64 is a bit complicated. I like the sound design. The sound design is perfect. When I say Doom 64 Retribution has great lightings and great graphics, Brutal Doom 64 take that a step further in enhancing the graphics and lighting, which makes it look very good. And Brutal Doom 64, other than the visuals, the sound design, and the blood splatter and all that, is basically the same comment I have on Brutal Doom. It's bloody, it's badass, it's filled with guns, it's filled with demons. Take the gun, shoot the demons, get to the next level, repeat. That's all I have to say about Brutal Doom 64. It's that simple, and that's how much improvement it does. It's not that complicated, but I would like to say that Brutal Doom 64 is not very original. Not really original, that's not the word. The word is, it's not very classic. It's not true to being classic, but that isn't what Brutal Doom 64 was aiming for, which is forgivable. I can understand why Brutal Doom 64 is not approaching the classic by just adding some blood splatter, but I like the fact that they didn't approach by going classic and saying that this, we're making a completely bigger thing. And I would say that Brutal Doom 64 is the best way to replay Doom 64. Your first experience, you need to play Doom 64 Retribution first, because that is the classic, purest, original thing. You need to do that. And then after you played the Retribution version, you can go and get Brutal Doom 64 for yourself. And I would like to say that Brutal Doom 64 is fun. Very fun. Especially when you get to the point where you get to kill the mother demon. It's very fun. It's very big. And it's something that very interests me. And I would like to say that I do completely 100% recommend Doom 64 Retribution and Brutal Doom 64. Just make sure you finish Doom 64 Retribution first before starting to play Brutal Doom 64, because Brutal Doom 64 might ruin the experience for you, ruin the Doom 64 Retribution experience for you, because it's no longer as good. I would like to say that that's the two that I would recommend, and don't even touch Doom 64. Don't even touch Doom 64 EX. Doom 64 EX sucks. I do not like it. Some people may argue that they like it and that I'm a big idiot. Well, here's the thing. I am an idiot. This is my opinion, and people can have opinion. So shut up.